Hey, I'm Mark with Two Wandering Wanderers. We hooked up some secondary power in our van so we could run our laptop, coffee grinder, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm by no means an electrician, but I thought I'd go over this to show you how I did it. I basically learned off other YouTube videos, so here's how I did it. A little tricky, but thank God for YouTube. So basically, I have an isolator right there. That's the Stinger brand. Get it off of Amazon.com. And so basically you're gonna have an isolator, a secondary battery, and your inverter. And it just comes from, you've got a power line coming off your positive that's gonna run first to this 200 amp fuse that I put in. Again, you can find that on Amazon. And then from there, it's gonna go over to your isolator. And now these two prongs, it doesn't matter which one is in or out, and also the smaller ones, one is a ground and one is basically a power source to activate the circuit in there to either open or close it. Because so basically all this does is isolate your secondary battery from your starting battery. And so what you want to do is find a true ignition source. And all the YouTube videos that I saw, their true ignition source was to splice into the AC enable relay fuse here in this box. But since you've got this is a newer van and you've got to take apart all this and find the wire that goes to the fuse, that seemed like a nightmare to me. Unfortunately, there were some open fuse slots because this van isn't fully loaded like it could be. And so I found one where there was power when the key was turned on, and when the key was turned off, there wasn't any power. So I got this little, here, I'll take it out so you can see it. I got this little thing off Amazon, little quick connect there for the wire, and then that plugs in over here. Either one of these actually, and then the other one's the ground. So just get that plugged back in. And then once you go from the starting battery to your 200 amp fuse into your isolator, then you'll take it from the isolator and you'll want to run it back to your secondary battery. And what I did, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that back in there, but I ran it through. There was a collection of wires that ran through the firewall, and I just kind of cut it and ran it through together with them. So then we'll go into the interior of the van. I'll show you where I ran it through. And I don't know, honey, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it's run in from under there, and then you can see my red wire right there, and I ran it through the console, and then on back to here. There's our little wood frame bed. And then from there, before you get to your slave battery, you'll hit another 200 amp fuse, and then to the 200 amp fuse to the battery, and then from the battery over to the inverter. And then the inverter I didn't ground, I just ran a cable from the slave battery off the negative and the positive to the negative and the positive of the inverter, and then I just grounded it out right here. I peeled this cover off, found a good spot for the ground right there. This thing isn't on perfect, but it'll work for what we're doing. And then to know if you've got your isolator hooked up right, what you do is once you think you've got everything wired up, you'll come over and you'll turn the inverter on. It's running at 12.9 and 13 volts. And you'll know the isolator will work because then if you start it up, this thing will run about 14.2, 13.8, something like that. And I think I might have a loose connection here because this, no, it should be good. And that's that. And so we're set up. We've got power out in the woods. We can make coffee in like 5 minutes. Whoop whoop. Mark with Two Wandering Wanderers. See you guys soon. Thanks.